Assembled guests, please stand. Their Excellencies, the Right Honourable Dame Cindy Kello, Governor-General of New Zealand, and Dr. Richard Davis.
Te honore he kororia he maungaro mo ki hunga te mato te whenua. Te whakaro pai ki ngā tangata katoa. Arohai na ngā teina, e ngā tuakana, e no nei ni te whakaro ko tai, paina.
Please be seated. Kia ora tātou katoa. Nau mai hara mai ki te whare kāwana o Tāmaki Makaurau. Distinguished guests, it is a pleasure to welcome you all to Government House for today's investiture ceremony. I'd like to specifically acknowledge Mr. Joe Harawira, Kaumātua, and Mrs. Rānui Ngārimu, Kuia. Hosting investiture ceremonies is one of the most important duties that I perform on behalf of Her Majesty, the Queen of New Zealand. I'm delighted to bring together such an extraordinary group of New Zealanders. You have each brought pride and a greater sense of well-being to Aotearoa New Zealand through your outstanding achievements and your service to our communities. On behalf of all New Zealanders, I extend my sincerest thanks for your contributions. After each recipient is honoured, I invite you all to join with me in congratulating them. Mr. Ward Kamo will now summon the recipients and read their citations.
Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of a Companion of the Queen's Service Order, Mrs. Heather Tangay of Auckland for services to local government and the community. Heather Tangay was Mayor of Palmerston North and a Palmerston North City Councillor. As Executive Director of Red Cross Palmerston North, she established the Manawatu Multicultural Council and initiated several fundraising schemes. She initiated the Ethkick football tournament in Palmerston North and introduced a Muslim women's swimming group. She facilitated the settlement of hundreds of refugees in Palmerston North. She is president of Titirangi U3A and volunteers for the Give a Kid a Blanket initiative. She established the Glen Eden Residents Association and Glen Eden Community Pātaka program. She worked to transform the Milan Bush Reserve. She was the funding and community development advisor for DIA in Palmerston North, helping to establish the Roslyn Education and Health Program. Mrs. Tangay helped develop the New Zealand Toy Safety Standard. Mrs. Heather Tangay, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of a member of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Dr. Graham Fenton of Whangarei, for services to Māori and rural health. Well, Dr. Graham Fenton has been a general practitioner for 54 years. He established Moerewa Medical Services, serving a high-needs area with an 85% Māori population. He helped establish and remains associated with Ngāti Hine Health Trust. He was a Northern Regional Health Authority Director. He set up New Zealand's first publicly funded rural locum and education service for general practitioners and practice nurses. As Rural Director, North Island, he was involved in the rural implementation of the primary healthcare strategy. He served on the New Zealand Rural General Practice Network and Te Tokarau Primary Health Organisation boards. Dr. Fenton helped to develop and manage the Mid-North After Hours service. Dr. Graham Fenton, please come forward. Mr. Ian Jackson of Auckland for services to the plumbing industry and the community. Mr. Ian Jackson, please stand. Mr. Ian Jackson ran Jackson Plumbing Limited in Auckland for many years. He initiated the promotion and uptake throughout New Zealand of the Australian Plumbing Code AS3 500, a more cost-effective and efficient method of plumbing. His company, All Proof Industries, has researched and developed new products for the plumbing and drainage industry. Through All Proof, he supports numerous charities, schools and other organisations. He has been a swimming and surf lifesaving competitor and coach. As president of North Shore Swimming Club, he secured a head coach that led the club to become one of the most successful clubs nationally. Mr. Jackson has been president of the Auckland West Rotary Club. Mr. Ian Jackson, please come forward. Ms. Maxine Shortland of Kawakawa for services to netball and governance. Maxine Shortland, Ngāti Hine, Ngāpuhi, Ngāti Wai, Ngāti Porou, is a director of Netball New Zealand with 40 years of experience in netball as a player, manager, coach, administrator and parent netball convener and in governance. She is a business leader with 25 years of governance and senior management experience. She chairs the Public Health Association of New Zealand and is a director of Waitangi Limited. She is a board trustee with Foundation North and a member of Global Women New Zealand, the Kororareka Marae Committee, the New Zealand Lottery Grants Board and the New Zealand Conservation Authority. Ms. Shortland was Chief Operating Officer at Ngāti Hine Health Trust. Ms. Maxine Shortland, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the Queen's Service Medal, Mr. Peter Karcher-Birch of Snells Beach for services to the community. And you're welcome to stand, Mr. Karcher. Peter Karcher-Birch is the volunteer manager of the Highfield Garden Reserve in Algies Bay, Snells Beach. He has been instrumental in enabling visitors to feed a family of donkeys. He is part of the Highfield Garden Reserve Advisory Committee and Highfield Donkeys Incorporated. He has liaised with veterinarians and supervises the team that grooms the donkeys. He worked with volunteers to restore groves of native trees on the reserve and liaise with the council. He prunes and mulches the community orchard. Mr. Karcher-Birch oversaw the Goodall Tahau Committee as it began restoration of land between Goodall Reserve and Dawson's Landing. Mr. Peter Karcher-Birch, please come forward. Mr. Keith Carter of Tauranga for services to the community. Keith Carter was a founding member of the Greerton Night Owls, now Tauranga South Community Patrol, liaising between police and the community. He secured the first marked patrol car and took over the car boot sale that fundraises for the patrol group. Alongside his wife, he has supplied all equipment needed. He helps distribute tamper-resistant screws, which prevent registration plates being stolen throughout community patrols in New Zealand. He co-chaired a national training seminar for community patrols. Mr. Carter is a member of the South City Bowling Club and former president of Greerton Indoor Bowling Club. Mr. Keith Carter, please come forward. Mrs. Jenny Oakley of Auckland for services to the community and the arts. Jenny Oakley is a member of the Cathedral Council of Holy Trinity Cathedral, Parnell. She was an executive committee member of the University of Auckland alumni. At age 72, she was the oldest capped graduate to walk down Queen Street, having completed her master's while secretary of the university's staff common room and library assistant. She is a volunteer guide at Auckland Museum and Parr Homestead Gallery. She is a committee member of the Decorative Fine Arts Society Auckland branch and Friends of the Auckland Philharmonia. Mrs. Oakley has volunteered for Meals on Wheels and provided transport for appointments. Mrs. Jenny Oakley, please come forward. Mr. John Williamson of Whangarei for services to the community. John Williamson joined JCs, a not-for-profit organisation focused on building local communities and training future leaders in 1972. He was a trustee and chairman of Northland Business Development Trust. He became a business mentor for the Paper Mill, an organisation to employ those with intellectual disabilities, and served as committee member and president of the Northland Chamber of Commerce. He was a founding councillor of the Northland District Automobile Association. He is chairman and trustee of the Northland Road Safety Trust. He served 3 terms as a Whangarei District Councillor. Mr. Williamson is chairman of Whangarei Museum and Heritage Trust. Mr. John Williamson, please come forward. Your Excellency, the investiture has concluded.
New Zealand's honours system is our highest public affirmation of outstanding individual achievement. It reinforces those things that make our society better: service, manaakitanga, and the pursuit of excellence. To our recipients, it has been a privilege to hear your stories. You have each used your talents and abilities to improve the lives of fellow New Zealanders. In doing so, you embody the spirit of the whakatauki. Whaia te iti kahurangi, ki te tū ohu koe me he maunga teitei. Seek the treasure that you value most dearly. If you bow your head, let it be to a lofty mountain. I urge recipients to wear your insignia with pride at every opportunity, knowing that you inspire others by your example. On behalf of the Queen of New Zealand and all New Zealanders, I congratulate you on your achievements, and I thank you once again for your service to our country. Kia ora, hohi mai tātou I tēnei ahiahi. You will see on the back of your program the words to the national anthem in Te Reo Māori and in English. I now invite you to stand and join me in singing the national anthem.